So, you're thinking about a career in tech, but maybe you're not sure where to even begin. You've probably heard the term cloud computing everywhere, and honestly, for a really good reason. In this explainer, we're going to cut through all the noise and give you a super clear step-by-step roadmap to launch a career in one of the hottest fields out there today. Okay, let's just dive right in.
And yeah, let's start with a number that really gets your attention. $134,783. That's the average salary for a cloud professional in the United States. You see, the demand for these skills is so high, and that means the rewards are high too. It makes this a career path that is absolutely worth looking into. So, what even is the cloud? It sounds kind of abstract, maybe a little confusing, right? But don't you worry. In this first part, we are going to break it all down into simple, easy-to-understand terms.
Yeah, this is the big question. What are we even talking about? Is it some fluffy white thing in the sky? Not exactly. It's actually way more practical, and it powers so much of what you already use every single day. Okay, here's the main idea. Instead of your company buying and running its own super expensive servers and giant hard drives, you're basically just renting them from a huge provider like Amazon or Microsoft or Google. You get to access all that computing power, the storage for your photos, the servers that run Netflix, all through the internet whenever you need it. And you only pay for what you use, kind of like your electricity bill. This is honestly the best analogy for understanding the three main types of cloud services. Let's talk pizza. First up, you have IaaS, or Infrastructure as a Service. This is like renting the whole kitchen, the oven, the ingredients, everything. You have the most control, but you have to make the pizza yourself. Think of things like virtual servers. Next, there's PaaS, Platform as a Service. This is like getting a pizza kit delivered. The dough and toppings are ready, you just have to put it together and bake it. This is perfect for developers who just want to focus on writing code, not setting up servers. And finally, my favorite, SaaS, Software as a Service. This is the easiest one. It's the ready-made pizza delivered hot to your door. You just enjoy it. Think Netflix, Gmail. You just use the software, no work required.
Okay, so now we get what it is. But why should you build a whole career around it? Let's talk about the prize, the real, tangible benefits of going all in on a career in the cloud.
The reasons are pretty compelling, you guys. For starters, the job market is massive. We're talking over 300,000 open roles in the US alone. And like we saw, high demand means high salary. But here's a really important one. You often don't need a traditional four-year college degree. Your skills, your projects, your certifications, that's what really matters. Plus, since you're working on the cloud, a ton of these jobs are remote. And maybe best of all, you get to work on stuff that has a huge impact on the real world, from your favorite streaming shows to literal space exploration. Feeling pumped? Good, because now we get to the real heart of it. This next section is your practical, no-fluff, step-by-step roadmap to get you from where you are right now to getting hired in the cloud industry.
This right here, this is the path. It's not a secret formula, but it does take focus. You can't skip steps. It all starts with learning the fundamentals, the core concepts. Then, and this is absolutely critical, you have to get your hands dirty with actual practice. After you've got some skills, you go and validate them by getting certified. And finally, you prove you can actually do the job by building your own projects and sharing them with the world.
So, when we talk about certifications, the best place to begin is with a foundational one. This chart breaks down the entry-level certs from the big three providers. As you can see, the costs are almost identical, just about $100. The really interesting difference to look at is how long they're valid. AWS lasts for 3 years, Google for 2, but check out Microsoft's. It never expires. That's a pretty sweet deal when you're just starting out. Okay, once you're on this path, you're going to start hearing about a whole new universe of tools and platforms, so let's take a quick look at the core technologies that you absolutely have to know.
Now, at first glance, this table of names might seem super confusing, but it actually shows something really important. The major cloud providers, they all offer pretty much the same core services, they just give them different brand names. So for compute, which is basically your virtual servers, AWS calls it EC2, Azure calls it virtual machines, and Google calls it compute engine. Same thing for storage. The key isn't to memorize every single name, but to understand the core categories of services they all provide.
So beyond those core services, you're going to hear these terms a lot. Now, don't worry about mastering all of them right away. Just start to get familiar with the ideas. DevOps, that's just a culture of developers and operations teams working together to ship software faster. They do that using CI/CD, which automates everything.
To make sure code runs the same way everywhere, we pack it up in containers using something like Docker. And to manage thousands of those containers, we use an orchestrator, usually Kubernetes. Finally, infrastructure as code with tools like Terraform means you can build and manage your servers with code, not by clicking around in a web browser.
All right, time for a little reality check. Getting a job isn't just about knowing the cool tech. It's about solving real-world business problems. So let's talk about the challenges you're actually going to face on the job. A huge one is cost. I mean, huge. This chart shows why cloud bills can just spiral out of control. Look at that. A massive 30% is just from a lack of awareness of how the pricing models work. Another 15% comes from bad planning. This is exactly why one of the top skills for any cloud pro is cost optimization. If you can walk into a company and help them save money on their cloud bill, you become incredibly valuable.
And then there's security. This is priority number one, always. Simple mistakes like accidentally making a storage bucket public are one of the most common ways breaches happen. On top of that, you have to deal with constantly changing cyber threats, making sure you're compliant with rules like HIPAA or GDPR, and securing all the new tech like containers. In the cloud, security is truly everyone's job.
I really want you to let this quote sink in. It's from a discussion online, and it gets to the heart of a huge debate in the tech community. Certifications are important, for sure, but they are not a golden ticket to a job. Hiring managers want to see that you can actually do the work, not just that you're good at passing a test.
So what's the final word on this? It's pretty simple. You need both. Here's the best way to think about it. A certification is your map. It guides your learning, it tells you what topics are important. But building hands-on projects, that's the journey itself. That's how you prove to an employer that you have the practical, real-world skills that they are desperate to hire. Okay, we have covered the what, the why, and the how. Now it's time to bring it all home. This final section is all about clear, actionable things you can do the second this is over. You really don't have to wait. You can start today, right now. First thing, go create a free tier account with AWS, Azure, or Google. They all have one. Next, build something super simple. Hosting a basic website is like the classic Hello World project for the cloud. While you're tinkering, start a foundational course to learn the core concepts. And finally, go join a community on Discord or Reddit. Trust me, learning with other people will accelerate your progress like you wouldn't believe.
So, there you have it. The roadmap is laid out right in front of you. The path is clear, and the rewards are absolutely significant. But it's not going to be easy. There will be challenges. So the real question isn't about the technology, it's about you. Is your drive to learn, to build, and to grow stronger than the hurdles you'll face? The opportunity is right there, waiting for you.